All right, everybody. The July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Public Safety Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Burgess is present. Mr. Colby. Mr. Colby is present. Mr. Cruz.
Presente.
Mr. Cruz is present. Ms. DeFlorio. Ms. DeFlorio is present. Mr. Dondorfer. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Ms. Hugh Smith.
Here.
Ms. Hugh Smith is present. Chairman Long.
Here.
Chairman Long is present. Mr. Mafucci.
Here.
Mr. Mafucci is present. Mr. Milne.
Present.
Mr. Milne is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons. Ms. Vasquez Simmons is present.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Oh, is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee this time? You want to give your...
I can. Terry, just before you speak, just so you know the rules, you'll have 2 minutes in which to address the committee. Also, please don't bring up any signs or props and don't single out any legislators. And you will have 2 minutes. Just conclude when the buzzer sounds.
Sandra Doyley was having a hellish Monday. Then at about this time on that afternoon, she spent a half an hour making a long series of horrible decisions. The woman who had spent 32 years forcing other people to take responsibility for their worst decisions, often made on their worst days, has had no one who was both willing and able to provide the same service for her. Her deposition and statement last week make clear that she has spent 15 months in a morass of anger, denial, and bargaining. She said in that deposition that it is time for change in the office. Present tense, 4 months ago. The only excuse she gives for not leaving yet is the need for a transition. The last time, 50 years ago, someone involuntarily left the district attorney's office, the voters of Monroe County gave Jack Lazarus less than 2 months to vacate the office. The greatest gift Sandra Doyley could give to herself this week is a one-way ticket to Charleston. And the greatest gift any of you could give to her is telling her so. Thank you and have a good night.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the committee? The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on our agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 25-0232, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Churchville Chi Central School District for reimbursement to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office School Resource Program.
Move it. Second.
Moved by Legislator Mafucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you, sir. Through you to the administration. How is the SRO selected?
Sorry about that. Through the chair, the SRO is selected, they're posted, and then everyone that puts in, we look at where they're coming from, what they've done, and make a selection. And the same one is going to be back there.
The guy's so good he can answer on the fly. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator DeFlorio.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair to the administration, just to follow up with that. Do you have someone already selected or in mind for next year's schools? Like
Yes, it's going to be Deputy Gettle again.
the same,
Same person.
awesome, thank you. And my understanding, he is doing a wonderful job out there and as well regarded by the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we get a ton of feedback and, we're lucky to have Sanborn as the Director of Security, who obviously we have a great relationship with. Through the chair.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Cruz?
Through the chair to the administration, does the Cherryville Child Life Center school district or Child Life itself have a its own policing entity?
Through the chair, the sheriff's office is the police department for Churchville and Chi-Li.
So they don't, just to clarify on my end, they don't have the equivalent of RPD to Rochester, that Child Life does not have a police.
The sheriff's office is the police department. So correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none? Oh, sorry, Legislator Mafucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to explain my vote because I kind of have a very interesting storyline here. In my former life as a superintendent of schools, we had a chance to hire an SRO. And initially I had my doubts, little concerned. Do I want, people to think we have issues in our school, to have somebody walking around the building in a uniform? Well, we did it. And I have to say it was one of the best things we ever did. The number of problems that that man solved before they came into the school was fantastic. So I wish Churchville Chi-Li well. I think it's a great move. I'll be voting in the favor of it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Legislator Hugh Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, is the SRO officer armed?
Through the chair, that is correct. They're in full uniform.
And through you, thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, how long has there been an SRO officer in this particular district?
Through the chair, I believe this is the 7th year of this contract.
And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the- is there just one SRO officer and has it been the same individual for all 7 years?
Through the chair, there is just one, and I do not believe it's been the same person.
Okay, and through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, do we have any data from the school district besides the just positive comments that you've shared? Is there any data we have of what the SRO officer does during the day, what types of incidents they've been involved with, if any?
Through the chair, of course, we track, the SRO does productivity of what goes on in the school and what they're doing.
Thank
That's
you.
probably why Churchville is willing to pay for them still.
I see. Would you be able to share some of that data with us?
Through the chair, sure.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator DeFlorio?
Thank you. Just to clarify, and I just kind of want to make sure that people understand that this is something that has been requested by the district and is something that is requested by members of the Churchville Chi-Li school community.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you.
Legislator Hugh Smith?
Sure. I mean, just since the other legislator brought that up, what was the outreach to the Churchville Chi-Li community like in deciding they wanted a SRO officer? I mean, this was going on for several years though, but since you raised it as something that they're requesting, is there any evidence of community members that are opposed to this?
Through the chair, we have not heard of anyone opposed to this. I would say that I was a school resource officer from 2001 to 2006. And the impact that you have in the school and the difference that you make in the school is incredible, both with the school community and the home community. I think throughout the country, SROs are used and the advantages of SROs are known throughout the country. So they took that into account and they wanted someone at their school.
Are you all set, Legislator Cruz?
Yes, as a follow-up to the comments through the chair to the administration, then can any school district make the same request from the sheriff's department?
Through the chair, every school district has the opportunity to pay for an SRO in their school. That is correct.
Thank you.
Legislator Hugh Smith?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration. So of the many dozens of school districts we have in the county, how many have SRO officers have made that request?
Through the chair, currently the only two are BOCES and Churchville. In the past, Wheatland has, but currently BOCES and Churchville.
Thank you. It seems to me that lots of districts have chosen to go a different way. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or discussion? Legislator Smith. Legislator Florio, hey, real quick, Under Sheriff Brown, so your comment, your response was about the sheriff's department.
That is a great point. Through the chair, it is only for the jurisdiction that the sheriff's office is in charge of. So I know Greece has some, I believe, in Brockport. So it's only for where we patrol.
Legislator Florio.
Thank you. And I just wanted to speak on behalf of the constituents in my district. My district includes a significant portion of the Churchville Chili School District. I attended a public meeting, a couple of public meetings in the district, probably, I'm not sure exactly the number of years ago, but I'm guessing it was probably close to being around the time when the decision was made to hire the SRO officer. And there were significant safety concerns in the country at the time. And different school districts were searching for different ways to handle the concerns. And this was the route that Churchville Chili, I believe, chose during that time. And to the administration's point, it has been significantly well received by the community. And I've never heard anything but positive comments with regard to that officer. So it is not considered or seen as a threat. My kids spoke highly when they were in attendance there and looked at that person as a mentor and someone to look up to. So thank you. I will be voting in the affirmative.
Any other questions or comments, Legislator Hughes Smith?
Thank you. I guess I will also explain my vote as a mother of 5 kids who have all attended public schools, as an educator who's worked for, more than a couple of decades, also in some public high schools. I have been very fortunate to work in excellent school districts that choose not to use SRO officers and have chosen to use some other types of security officers whom, yes, my kids have acknowledged interesting relationships with some of those security officers. Some kids do really enjoy having them present. Personally, I am uncomfortable with having armed folks in schools, so I will be voting no, as there's a lot of data that over the years called the school to prison pipeline, and without having a thorough analysis of how things may have evolved over the years with relationship to the way justice is looked at through various racial lenses, I would be uncomfortable putting our students in a situation that makes things more difficult for them. Thank you.
Is there other questions or discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay. 10-1. Referral passes.
All right. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0233, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the Rush Henrietta Central School District for the purchase of fuel for vehicles of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0234, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services pursuant to raise the age legislation.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, second by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Chairman. Through you to the administration, could we be provided with the Office of Probation's comprehensive plan?
Through the chair, Christine Durante for probation. Yes, I just forwarded that plan to council today, and I believe they are going to forward it.
Great, thank you so much. Through the chair to the administration, how effective has Raise the Age been here in Monroe County?
Through the chair, that's a very broad question, and I guess it depends on who you ask. If you're specifically asking if Raise the Age has worked in the respect that it is supposed to by arresting 16 and 17-year-olds for felonies and then assessing them for appropriateness to stay in youth part, and if they're not appropriate to stay in youth part, to remove them to family court, then it is working here in Monroe County. If you would like more specific information, I can do that as well.
That would be great. As a follow-up question through the chair to administration. So just looking for how many youths have been served, how many are reoffenders versus the first-time offenders? And then could you also provide us with the previous year's data for the same information?
Through the chair, if you actually send that via email, I can get that information for you. I will caution that sometimes recidivism rates are difficult to determine based on the fact that Raise the Age legislation factors in removing cases to family court, which then affords kids diversion, which then seals their record. So if they get arrested later on after they're 18, we would not be able to talk about recidivism.
All right, thank you so much. And then one last question through the chair to the administration. The referral states that there is juvenile placement for, quote, young people who present a risk to public safety. In practice, what offenses would be deemed to present a risk to public safety? And how are the juveniles placed in facilities under Raise the Age? And how many juveniles are placed?
Through the chair, every individual is assessed on an individual basis. So their crime, there's different levels of felony crimes that we consider violent felony offenses, which in and of themselves are a risk to public safety. And then there are youth or young adults who commit multiple offenses. So again, it's individualized. To speak to how many Raise the Age youth are currently in facilities, that would be data that the Office of Children and Family Services would hold. And it's not something that I would have available to me right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator DeFlorio.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, just to clarify the comment that legislator Smith just read, goes on to say, and create therapeutic out-of-home placement settings for young people. So are there two different facilities, or are there multiple facilities? One for the young people that present a risk to public safety, and a separate facility that is or are therapeutic out of home placement settings for youth that do not present a risk?
Through the chair, I recognize that my answers are sometimes a little non-responsive. However, because it is individualized, Raise the Age, there are Raise the Age facilities that house just adolescent offenders, sections of Raise the Age facilities. Every child that is placed outside of their home, every youth, they go through a stringent assessment process. They are offered community resources first, probation generally, and then they are assessed. If they're not successful in community supervision, a judge would place them outside of their home. Judges, if we're talking about youth that are adjudicated adolescent offenders, they would go to an OCFS, an Office of Children and Family Services secure facility. If it is a youth that started off as a raise the age youth and then was removed to family court, they have the option of possibly going to a private facility under DHS care or Office of Children and Family Services secure facility. So all of those facilities are intended to have therapeutic interventions. Some are less secure than others.
Thank you. So just so I'm clear, the secure facility that we're talking about is the one secure facility that we have. Correct? I just want to make sure that there aren't additional secure facilities that I'm not aware of.
Through the chair. So our facility is Monroe County Children's Center, and again, run by the Department of Human Services, is a local facility. It is not intended as a long-term placement facility for any youth that is adjudicated and then sent to placement. If they are adjudicated and sent to placement, then they would go to the OCFS run facility. It's like jail and prison, if I can.
Sure.
So there's a local aspect, and then they would be sent on for a long-term care at an OCFS facility.
And thank you. I'm sorry if I'm just being dumb here, but where is the secure OCF facility that you're referring to? Because I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding what facilities are which.
Yeah. So OCFS has several secure facilities across the state. Industry is one of the local facilities that's across the street from our Monroe County Children's Detention Center. However, there are several across the state.
Thank you. That's, I guess, what I was trying to distinguish mentally. So thank you so much for that. And then what would be an example of the therapeutic out-of-home placement for the young people who do not present a risk? Are those? And even if you, one example, just again, so I can kind of have a
Sure.
frame of reference.
Through the chair, we work to use least restrictive interventions with all youth, even when it comes to placement, especially youth that are going through family court. So it ranges from therapeutic foster care to more intensive non-secure facilities. For example, Hillside, or what we used to know as the Villa of Hope, used to have beds available to us. So there's all different facilities like that across the state.
Thank you. And so just one last question, I'm sorry. So those, like Hillside is an example of a non-secure facility versus the detention center, which is secure.
Through the chair, yes.
Thank you so much for clarifying all of that for me. It's a lot and it gets confusing. So thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Cruz.
Through the chair to the administration, would the, when I hear or read the increase of staff resources and specialized training, would this mean also the increasement of possibly psychologists or therapists, better access to these type of staff to the youth?
Through the chair, can you repeat the question again, please?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
when I'm reading increase of staff resources and things like specialized training, expanded community programs and services, would part of those services include therapists and psychologists, or the increase of thereof?
Through the chair, yes, absolutely. Specialized training includes specialized training for probation officers to be trained in cognitive behavioral interventions, as well as contracting with specialized therapists, sometimes to work with youth with problematic sexual behaviors or other types of specific populations.
Through the chair to the administration, do they have like a weekly, monthly access to talk to a therapist or things like that? Or how does that go? Or do we know?
Through the chair, a part of probation's charge is to help all youth and families eliminate obstacles to whatever their needs are. And if it is therapy, then we work with them to have an adequate assessment and then try to have them meet with their therapist if that's what's deemed necessary as often as the therapist thinks is necessary.
All right, thank you. Yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Colby.
Thank you. Through the chair, how much of this funding has Monroe County accepted to raise the age since it was implemented? It's
Through the chair, I'd have to get back to you on that figure.
okay. And the other question is, and I think Smith asked it, but to clarify, how many youth are at least screened initially for this programming? So in other words, I'm trying to figure out how much does it cost per youth being screened?
Through the chair, raise the age funding is less of a specific program and more to help the county deal with the raise the age legislation change in which overall the criminal responsibility was lowered. The age for criminal responsibility was heightened, raised, sorry, that's raised the age from 16 to 18. So this money is to help us fund programs, different programs and officers and whatever is needed to help the community deal with some of the youth that are in our community as a result of this legislation.
Okay, I might ask it differently, but we'll send it over to you. But could you at least get the funding per year that has been sent to us through this legislation? And it's a year by year funding, I believe. Is that correct? Through Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, yes, absolutely, we can do that.
Thank you.
Other questions or discussion? Legislator Hugh Smith.
Yeah, thanks you, Mr. Chairman. Through to the administration, I'm just listening to my colleagues' questions. I made me wonder if we have data on how many young people have been diverted away from the adult jail to more appropriate settings, and if we have any data on potential savings, financial savings, there must have been some cost involved with having young people in adult settings. And is there any financial savings that we are experiencing as a result of shifting those young people away from that adult facility? Just curious. Thanks.
Through the chair, I think we would have to get back to you on any fiscal savings that were happening, but keeping kids in the community, if we are able to do it safely, is less expensive.
Thank you. Appreciate the answer, and I yield the floor.
Anybody else? Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0235, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for the District Attorney's Office, the Office of the Sheriff, and the Department of Public Safety, Office of Probation, Community Corrections for the statewide targeted reductions in intimate partner violence initiative.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Mafucci, second by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0238, amend Resolution 74 of 2022 to accept additional funding from the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services and extend the time period for the Upstate Family Defense Quality Improvement and Caseload Reduction Grant.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Mafucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0239, authorize change of classification in the sheriff's table of organization of one full-time officer wellness clinician and two part-time wellness clinicians.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, second by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0240, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Greece for police tactical team cooperation with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, second by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Oppose. 10-1. Referral passes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0241, authorize the creation of a radiological and chemical officer in the Department of Public Safety.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, second by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, can you describe this position in further detail? And is there anyone currently carrying out these duties?
Through the chair, currently position is being filled by a contractor and has been for the last 2 budget years. The last time we had this position officially filled was back in 2019. That person retired from county employ, and since then, 2022, we've had a contractor filling the position.
Thank you. And through the chair to the administration, do you have a candidate in mind for this position? It seems like a very specific position that would need to be filled.
We do not have a specific candidate in mind, but we are aware of several people who do have the qualifications in county employ, as well as people who we've worked with in the scope of the radiological position today, but no one specific right now.
Beautiful. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Hugh Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, does our Department of Environmental Health already have staff that performs this same type of role?
Through the chair specifically, no.
Okay. And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, the state and federal mandates, have these been in place for a long time? Are they new mandates?
The mandates that have put in place as us being a radiological county have been in place for decades. Many of them more stringent since 3 Mile Island. The funding source, again, is federal funds passed through by New York State that funds all of our radiological efforts, including would be funding this effort.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, and at the present time, is the funding still coming from the federal government for these positions?
Directly, it comes through the state of New York that collects fees from the power plant operators in New York State, and then those funds are then reallocated to each radiological county. And since we are part of the radiological response for Ginna, we receive our dollars directly through New York State, who collects the funds from the operators.
So just to clarify through you, Mr. Chairman's administration, there are federal mandates, but it's state funding through fees to power plant operators that's funding the program.
Yes, through the chair, that is correct.
Great, thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, why are we seeking to have an officer as opposed to continuing to have a contractor at this particular time?
At this particular time, our contractor, who is a former employee of RG&E and has worked in the industry for years, has declared to us his intent not to extend under contract terms in 2026. Therefore, we're trying to get out this year to try to get the position filled and try to at least capture several months with the contractor to allow the new candidate at least to get the lay of the land, as it were, before taking over the position next year.
Great, thank you very much. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0242, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the city of Rochester for support of the Rochester School Bus Safety Program.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Mafucci, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any question or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you. Sorry, I'll be brief. Through you to the administration, why isn't the RPD doing this and why is the sheriff's department doing it?
Through the chair, the Department of Public Safety has been in contact with the city of Rochester. The county's program has been in operation since November of 2023. The city was very interested, since this is a relatively new program in New York State, the school bus safety program. And given the county's experience with the program, the city was very interested in learning about how the county operates the program and was looking to replicate it as best possible. Since a technician that is reviewing video evidence, whether it be, say, in East Arundecoit or in the city, they don't know, an individual driver doesn't know whether, when they're passing from one jurisdiction into another. From a public safety perspective, we thought it would be prudent to have the same technicians reviewing that same evidence. So when somebody passes that artificial boundary from one to another, those rules are being applied in a similar or the same way. So from a public safety perspective, we thought that was prudent. The city was interested in it, so they wouldn't have to go through a process of hiring people. We have some excess capacity. We have 2 full-time people which are available for that spend some of their time doing some other things, but that we have capacity now. And the contractor that manages the program, a company called Bus Patrol America LLC, they've advised, since we don't have a crystal ball, we can't say for sure, what the city's program will bring on board for our technicians if this body approves it. They've agreed to allow the county to hire additional technicians at their expense to cover that program as it grows.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Legislator Colby.
So let me understand this correctly. The technicians are the ones that issue the ticket if they think it's warranted, through you, Mr. Chairman. Want me to repeat that?
Yes, please.
The technicians, are they police officers, through you, Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, they are not. They are public safety employees, and the statute allows for the county to select the technicians that will review the evidence. They need not be police officers.
Is that what, when they passed the state legislation, they included that apparently, through you, Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, yes.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other items to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Public Safety Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Public Safety Committee will be held on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m.